Hello and welcome to the Donna's Advice and Stories. I'm your host, Donna Guerreros, and on this episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about how I turned 41 years old and how you don't need to sweat it if you are, because it is like being a part of a little secret club that nobody knows about. And I'm actually enjoying it. But anyway, we're going to talk about aging on this episode. We're going to talk about this last week of my life. This last year and what's been going on. So welcome to Advice and Stories. I'm your host, Donna Guerreros. If you would like to find me on Instagram, you can. I'm plugging my fucking self now, so get used to it. If you want to find me on Instagram, my personal Instagram is at DEE shoots it. If you would like to find me on the Donnas, which is our our merch shop and our goods, guides, and gatherings. That's what I've been tagging it. That is at the.donas. You can go to the website, thedonnasproject.com, and you can follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube, where there is a video episode of this podcast. You already know that because you are looking at me on YouTube. But if you're just at home and you're listening, get on YouTube and you can see me in my red lip, which I did for this episode, my hoops, which a lot of people ask me on my Instagram where these are from. They're in the Donna's shop. So go get them, go cop them. I only think we have like 10 pairs left, and you get 3 pairs, different sizes. And and I'm sitting here in my white tee with my bra straps hanging out, Gwen Stefani style, back in the day. So what happened? How are you? How are you? Are you okay? You see this bruise I got? Wrong arm. See this bruise I got? That's from a Tide stick. Talk about being fair and bruising easily. That I got at my birthday when someone was trying to be so kind, Talia actually, to get this stain out of my Spanx bodysuit. And this is my war wound from that. And not war. I'm not lightly, not, I know. Guys, we gotta chill. If this is your first time coming to this podcast, please take what you want, leave what you don't. I'm not an expert. I don't want to be your parent. I don't want to be your therapist. And I don't want to be your guru. I am just a person who is documenting their journey with getting back to themselves and wellness and trying to take care of themselves and live in this, as someone once said in the YouTube reviews, Earth School. I think that is the best way to put it. We are in Earth School. Some of us are getting A's. Some of us are barely passing. Some of us are about to get kicked out. And a lot of us are in detention. I said this the other day. I was in a meeting, and this is like, oh, don't worry. Eventually, I do get all of this stuff to relate to each other. It's a little bit of a journey, but by the end, it all comes back together. Someone the other day in a meeting asked me to describe myself. Yes, I took a meeting. First mistake. But I took a meeting and they asked me to describe myself. And I said, I am the person, and this is like what I'm going with for now on. And I realized this in my birthday year, and kind of leading up to my solar return and all the things. My description, my bio, my life bio, you used to be the person that will talk to anybody. You can put me anywhere in the class and I'll still manage to find somebody to talk to. I still roll with that. The other thing that I think I'm embodying more and realizing is I'm the kid in school who would make the honor roll and get detention in the same day. That is me. And you know what? I'm embracing it. 41, baby. It is like a fucking nightclub that everyone's telling you isn't cool, but it is the tits. It is like the greatest place to be. And I got to be honest with you. When I was in my 30s, I was sweating turning 40 so much. And then I got to be honest with you, leading up to 40, that was a head trip. I did a podcast episode on that if you want to listen to it, but that was a little bit of a trip. Crossing over, because when I was a kid, we used to have all this stuff in like the party stores and everything, and it would be like over the hill, and also like, society and the patriarchy and women having an age on them and an expiration date and how you're no good after you're 40 years old, even though I got to be honest with you, I feel like I'm finally like awake and alive, and it's the first time like I feel great and wonderful and like my best self. And it's like, God damn it, society, why are you trying to freaking tell me I can't be here or I'm no good anymore? No, I want to have some fun. Girl wants to shake her ass and get out there. And I finally feel confident enough to do it. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if you're 20 or you're 30 and do it now, because I'm only doing it now at 40 and I'm having a blast. And I feel great. And there's something that happened in this last year that like clicked in my head where I just started to like really not care if I was out here like being cringe, as you know, the kids on TikTok like to say, because it's like, I'm going to like not be cringe for you, but then I'm going to be unhappy. So it's like, if you're not harming anyone and you're not out here like offending people and you're not purposely being a shithead, like if you want to go start a jewelry shop online, go do it. If you want to make YouTube videos about your, your workouts or your fitness or your cooking or your makeup tutorials or your outfits of the day or your journey with getting back to your mental health, I don't know, anything you want to do. And if you want to do it for 6 weeks, if you want to do it for 6 months, if you want to do it for 6 years, and no one is even watching and no one even cares, who cares? Is it making you happy? Yes, that is my answer. And I really have been getting so caught up in the algorithm and, like, is anybody liking this? Is anybody watching this? People being like, oh, did you sell enough t-shirts? Did you sell your hoop earrings? You should go buy them. But like, I've been getting like so caught up, and everybody like, even like when I interviewed the CEO, I guess like whatever, the head of Frownies, she said to me, she's like, where are you going with this whole Donna's thing? And it's so crazy to me because everybody who I meet wants an answer. Even like in this meeting the other day, everybody wants an answer and like a blueprint of where I'm going with this. And the people I'm sitting across from are miserable. And even the people asking me, I'm like, have you figured out what you're doing with your life yet? Like, have you figured it out? And I'm like, in the meeting the other day, I sat there and I really, for once, like just gave the answer that was probably the truest and rawest and most me. And I said, at the end of the day, I'm a nurse in New York City, right? That's like the one label I have. I said, and then I'm an artist. And I really feel like at the end of the day, I'm an artist, and in this world that is so insanely accessible in regards to creating content now. Like years ago, like you have to understand, like I'm 41. Even when I was 20, like you couldn't do this stuff. Like when I was 10, the fact that we had a movie camera, like I remember my cousin saying to me, we were at a family event and someone was holding like a video camera. His grandfather was holding a video camera. And my cousin goes, Pop, why don't you just use your phone? And it's like, it's so crazy to me to think like the stuff you need to make a movie, right? Like I think it's the Maltese Falcon. Someone once told me everything you need to make the Maltese Falcon is right here in your phone. Also, if you want to buy that's on the Donnas. But anyway, everything I told you, I'm plugging the shit out of my stuff. That was a lanyard for your cell phone, by the way, for those just listening. But everything you need to make a movie is on your phone. And this is like blowing my mind because it's like, I just want to like make cool shit. And I want to like be an artist, and sometimes I want to make, and I'm looking at like all of this as this big documentary project. Like, oh, I got lipstick on my finger. The Donnas is like this studio. It's like a studio. It's my studio. And it's like, I'm making podcasts. I'm making YouTube videos. I'm sharing what's working for me, what's not. And I think that's the biggest thing that I want to do, because like I sat down and like wrote out what I wanted to do for turning 41, I mean. And when I turned 40, I said, I want to help women realize that their lives can begin whenever they want, and that there is no expiration date on you at 40 years old. And I am going to be a fucking testament to that. That is going to be my absolute, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, how are you going to leave society better? Like, if I can leave society better in any way, it's to help people realize that at any age, you're great. And you don't have to meet these stupid milestones. Hold on, I gotta like readjust here. You don't have to meet these stupid, whether you're a man or a woman, like this is for everybody, however you identify. You don't have to meet these checkpoints and these fucking, I don't know, bars to be successful. I spend so much bandwidth and so much time worrying about, am I going to have a house? Am I going to have this? Am I going to have a baby? Am I going to be successful? And like, I would be at places like not even present. And now I'm just trying to, in this, like, since 40 has happened, I just want to live intentionally. I want to have effortless intention. I want to be present in every single thing I do. And I'm going to, like, be me. Like, for years, people would give me shit, like, when we were hanging out, because I love Instagram and I love social media. And they would give me shit. They'd be like, oh, again with the phone. And it's like, yeah, again with the phone. Again with the phone. Is this really bothering you that much? Like, that I am I'm a photographer. Like, I am someone who documents fun situations, what is happening. Like, this is literally who I am, and you are asking me to not be who I am right now in this moment. I get it, we're out to dinner. I get I can be a little OD. I get, like, maybe not everything needs to be documented, but my brain works so goddamn fast that I like to have this stuff on my phone to go back. And especially, like, and because I wasn't so vocal about this for years, like, there are moments when I get, like, really, not in the feels. I don't want to say down, but it's like in the feels. And I like going back to those moments and looking at them and being like, wow, that was so much fun. That was this. It's also a slippery slope, and you got to walk a fine line, because sometimes I would get, like, too caught up in nostalgia. And that's something I'm learning and, like, working on now with the nostalgia, is like, because I'm a heavy nostalgia person. I love nostalgia. I love I love feeling like I love something that snaps me back. I love these things, but also it's like, you know what I mean? The past is a place of reference, not residence. And Cillian Murphy said that. I love that quote. The past is a place of reference, not residence. And I love that quote. And it's very, very true. And I was kind of living a little too much in the past, but then sometimes I would find myself living too much in the future that didn't even happen. And that was giving me anxiety. So again, I'm trying to be present. And if my, like, legacy, that was the word I was looking for, can be anything, I want it to be that I want people to take care of themselves. I want people to know that life can start at any age. You can start over. You can clean the slate. Yeah, you're probably, if you piss some people off, they're probably going to not be cool with it. But it's like, who you were 10 years ago is not who you are now. And, like, we just got to stop. Like, you got to release the shame in things, and you got to release the burdens you're, like, putting on yourself. And for a long time, like, everybody around me wanted these answers, right? And even, like, up until last year, people were like, what are you doing with this Donna's thing? What's it going to be? Do you want to be a merchandise shop? Do you want to be a content creator? Do you want to be an influencer? I'm like, I just want to fucking be me. Like, I just want to be out here being me. And it's like, the people who get it. And those who don't. And maybe I want to throw a pop-up, and maybe I want to have a dance party, and maybe I want to make some dope shirts. And maybe I don't want to do that in a year. So it's like, why are you so bent on this? Like, we have this private community called the Donna Social Club, and I have decided that we're not going to take any new members to it right now, because I have some projects and some things going on where I can't dedicate my time to it like I was, or like I had anticipated and wanted. And more people around me who aren't even in the social club, who aren't even, like, members, are like, you work so hard on that, you're just going to, like, not do it anymore. And I'm like, I can't give my all to people right now. So I'm going to explain to them that I can't do that. And it will still be there for the people that are there, but we're just not going to add more people to it at this moment in time. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 days. You know what I mean? But the people around me were just like, you work so hard on it. It's like, I work so hard on it. You didn't work so hard on it. So it's like, the thing is that, like, some things are meant to be stepping stones. And this is, like, what I've learned this past year. Some things are meant to be stepping stones. Some things are meant to be like trophies where you're like, man, I accomplished that. And other things are meant to be like chapters. And it's like, it's got to close. And other things are just like prequels. It's just kind of like the intro chapter, show this mic's on, of like what's even yet to come. And it's just you getting your foot wet, or you going into the, the low end before, like, you hit the deep end. And you didn't even get to deep end yet, You're like still in, like, you're still walking down the steps. But it's like, you got to be absolute in it for yourself. And you just kind of got to, like, if it feels good, if it feels right. Also, nothing's like, it's not locked behind closed doors that you can never access it or do it again. So, like, say you spent the last year of your life doing CrossFit and you're like, man, I went real hard with that CrossFit, but now I think, like, I want to be a runner. Why can't you be a runner? Or maybe you're like, I don't want to work out anymore at all. I'm done. Cool. You know me. I'm going to say you should have some wellness in your life and you should move, because I think it's important. Also, I got to talk about, I'm watching on TikTok these, like, trends of people who, like, where everyone thinks wellness is like listen, wellness, yeah, people are making money off of it. People are turning it into like, you know, corporate shit, and people are trying to put like, you know, a barcode on it. I totally get that, and I'm totally not for that. Also, like that girl, it girl, like that kind of stuff. Watching those videos like kind of starts to induce a panic attack for me. So I get it, but like you got to take care of yourself. As someone who is 41 years old, the routines you start in your 20s are going to carry you to when you're 40. I am not saying you have to run a marathon. I am not saying you have to wake up at 5 o'clock every morning and be doing headstands and yoga and drinking your matchas and this and that. But what I am saying is that like laying around on the couch, Netflixing and chilling nonstop is just like working out every day and being obsessive about that. They're both cocktails for disasters, and the whole point is finding balance. And with this like wellness stuff, and with this like this world of self-care, it's so funny because people are like, oh, self-care is blah 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 blah. Like everyone's trashing self-care. Cool, trash it forever. Like I'm here for it. Self-care, literally, me taking care of myself literally got me out of like the depths of the shittiest parts of my life, because no one is going to fucking save you. And that is like the theme here that I've learned for my entire life up until I turned around 38, 39 years old. And the lesson really hit hard for me in 40 was like all those Disney cartoons and all the bullshit that I got brainwashed with watching when I was a kid was that some Prince Charming was going to save me, only to find out I am my own Prince Charming. Shit, I probably make more money than Prince Charming, and I have my shit together more than he does. Again, this is in like the societal patriarchy world of you know, pronouns and things, but and identity. But what I'm saying, for me anyway, so because it would be Prince Charming for me, like waiting for someone to come save the fucking day, waiting for someone to come pick me up off the floor, waiting for someone to come save my life, waiting for somebody to put it together for me, and to just, I really was for a long time waiting for someone to just say to me, everything's going to be okay, I got it. And you know who had to say that to me? Me. Donna had to look at herself and be like, bitch, I got you. You got to get the fuck up. We got to get going. We're the only ones we got at the end of the day. We're the only ones we can count on. Yes, we have a spouse. Yes, we have friends. But honestly, until we learn how to treat ourselves, and until we learn, and this is me talking to me now, until we learn how to treat ourselves, and until we learn how to take care of ourselves, we got to then teach others. If I can't teach you, Donna, how to self-care, how to preserve your mental health, how to maintain your mental health, how to get help for it, how to get your diet and your life under control, how to step in and say, yeah, drinking is getting a little out of hand. You're looking forward to it too much. Maybe we can pause on that for a minute until we figure out our relationship with it. And again, even when like I stopped drinking, everyone's like in my ass about like, oh, well, what are you doing with drinking now? Why did you stop? Here's a little fucking PSA for the planet. If someone tells you I'm not drinking, just say cool. Don't ask them why. Don't ask them what happened. Don't then make it about you and be like, oh, you must think, wow, that I'm like, I don't know, whatever someone had said to me one time. They're like, oh, you must think I'm like an awful human because I don't think anything about, like, I'm not even fucking thinking about you right now, okay? I have like so much social anxiety where we are right now because this is the first time I'm out and I'm not drinking, and I'm getting an interrogation from you, FBI agent, about why I'm not drinking. I am not even thinking about you, person sitting across from me. But it's like, all the things of like, oh, why are you not drinking? Oh, what happened? How long have you been doing this for? Have you lost weight? Like, shut the fuck up. Just be like, cool. And usually it's the people, you know, unless you got, I mean, yeah, unless the story's gonna be like, well, you know, I fucking drove a car through the living room on Thanksgiving. I mean, all of our stories are pretty much the same as to why we stopped. You know, unless I have like one friend, Rosebud Baker, she ruined like a whole wedding. Like, unless it's like, you know, a killer story like that. Just kind of be like, yeah, even you don't even want to talk about why you're not, unless it's, you know, you just don't like, you don't want to do that at a bar. Like, let's do this over tea. And also like a lot of people who are like working through that shit, they haven't figured it out yet themselves. So they don't have the monologue for you to make you feel better about their answer. I don't know. Did any of that make sense? I have no idea. But anyway, that when I had to realize the only person who was going to save me, because I was for a long time, and also I was putting too many expectations on people. I like wanted them to come and like, you know, I don't know, arrive for me or claim me. Even my spouse, it was like, I want you to claim me, or I want you to, not in like a bad possessive chivalrous way, but in a, you know, to be like, I got you, I'm here for it. Like, I had to learn how to do all these things for myself. I had to learn how to take care of myself. I had to learn how to treat myself right. I had to learn how to fill my own cup, take care of me, make myself happy, learn how to be alone with myself, learn how to go on vacation with myself, learn how to eat at restaurants with myself, learn how to go to the movies by myself, shop by myself, get dressed without asking the group chat, how does this look? Or asking my spouse, oh, what do you think about this? Do I look okay? Do I look thin? Does this maybe look weird? Is this too much? Is that not good for this? No, I had to like really start connecting with me and taking care of me. And that's why right now with this like self-care kick of like, oh, self-care is bullshit. I mean, I don't know. Not for me, it's not. I mean, I get it. Like we can OD and I get like, you know, self-care. Sorry, checking the time there. I get like self-care can be like a little like hyper indulgent or like even with the thing of like, you know, like, I don't want to talk to you right now because my boundaries. It's like, well, no, like, were you shitty to me? Yes or no? Because like, if you were, like, we got to talk and we got to figure this out. You don't have to talk to me right now, but like, one of us is probably going to have to apologize and it's probably going to be the person who was shitty. You know what I mean? Granted, I'll sit here and listen to why you were shitty, but like, you can't tell me no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I do get like the self-care and wellness thing because I was listening to a podcast today where they were talking about it. And I do get that it's gotten OD and I do get it's gotten a little bit too much with, you know, the corporate and the selfishness of it and the self-indulgenceness of it and with anything. And that's the thing, like balance is so important. Like with anything, it's like even with like diets, I don't want to talk about diet culture too much, but like with diets, like you can go on one of these crazy ass like diets where everything is so restricted. And yeah, you may have abs and you may be feeling the greatest, but then the moment you pop like 12 pieces of popcorn, you're going to feel bloated like shit and your pants ain't going to fit. What is the point? You're not going to be able to keep that up. Also, on the other end of the spectrum, eating anything you want whenever you want, that's only going to be like eventually it's going to do something. You know what I mean? Like you may get diabetes, you may get hypertension, you may, you know, just create like a not a good like situation for your skin. I don't know. I'm just coming up with ideas here, but it's like the two extremes is not good. Balance and finding like your place in the middle is, I think, important. And some days you're going to go a little bit to the left of the scale. Some days you're going to go a little bit right to the scale. And then you just got to have your little checks and be like, no, I got to get back to the middle. But I get it with the self-care and wellness thing, but I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of the things that I've learned in this last year of my life. I have to know when I have to stop and really take care of myself, when I have to say no, when I have to put my systems in place, when I need to rest, when I need to sleep, when I need to go in overdrive for myself. Because that's the other thing. I can go in overdrive. And a lot of people don't get it, but I can do it. And I am sitting there spending so much time explaining to people why I'm going so hard at something. But I know myself. I can go hard at something for a little bit, and then I can come back and I can rest and I can detach for a week and refuel. And I've learned that through self-care. I've learned that through spending time with myself. And that's what's gotten me to this point at 41 where I'm telling you, it's a secret little club. I am the most confident that I have ever been. I genuinely think I look the best I ever have. I looked at a photo of myself from when I was 25 to a photo of 41, and I'm like, damn, bitch, you look good. But a lot of it, and it is the fact that I'm going to therapy, is the fact that I'm working on myself, is the fact that I'm journaling, that I'm meditating, that I'm sitting with myself, that I'm taking time to take care of myself and not expecting everybody around me to fill my cup, to save the day. I'm really trying to become as self-sufficient and aware and mastery, I guess. I don't know if that's the word, but like just really like embody this self-care outside of a bubble bath and a glass of wine. And I really don't get why everyone is so against it right now. And maybe, I don't know, again, to each his own, but really that's one of the biggest things that's gotten me to this point and standing and feeling really, really good and taking the chances of putting something out on the internet and creating merch and making stuff and making a podcast and making a YouTube. Like I 5 years ago, I would have never made a YouTube. 5 months ago, I wouldn't have made a YouTube. And people around me like kind of told me, you should make this YouTube. You should do this. And I'm like, I don't know about this. But you know what? I don't have a lot of viewers. I don't have a lot of followers on it. But it makes me happy to do it. And the act of creating it, the act of like sitting down and editing it and putting like, oh, where am I going to put the graphics? And where am I going to do this? And where am I going to do that? And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just making something. And kind of like the rush of putting it out there, is enough for me. And as long as you're doing what you're doing for you and you're focused on the product and not the end result, and even when it comes to you, like I've been in therapy now for 4 years, and I'm looking at the result of 4 years of therapy, how I'm a lot more indifferent to outcomes, how I'm not trying to control things, how I'm not getting my hopes up. Even when it came to planning my birthday this year, every year I would have gone over the top. I would have gone crazy insane, need a line out the door, have to have tons of people there. And I said, this year, I am going to do something that doesn't require a lot of bandwidth, that doesn't need the DJ, that doesn't need the outfits, that doesn't like all the things I would usually do for myself. And I said, I just want to hang out with my friends. And I had a pizza party and I had it at my friend's spot and I asked them if it was okay. And even they were messaging me and they were like, how do we make this good for you? What do you need? What do you want? And I was like, dude, it's just going to be low key. I was going to hire a drag queen to come sing happy birthday. I was going to have someone do a performance. And then I was like, you know what? No, Donna, just make it effortless. Just make it so that whoever shows up, whether it's you sitting there by yourself with a slice and a nice iced tea, peach preferably, because that's what they have there, or it's 200 people. Cool. And it was exactly what it needed to be. The people who showed up, I love you guys so much. It was so wonderful. It was so nice. I got to spend time with people. I got to talk with them. And then I did a little over the top extra thing. We went out to a celebration, a dance party and show, drag show and performance and cabaret Friday night. And I just went with a few of my friends, super low key. I sent them a mood board. I said, this is how I'm going to be dressing. If you want to dress up, cool, but I'm going to go a little extra. It is my birthday. You know I like to be like that. If you want to come to my house, cool. We're going to be there at 9:30. If you want to meet us there, cool. I just left it so open and no pressure. And I have to tell you, it was so much less exhausting than trying to make sure everybody had a good time. Even in the invitation I put, I'm going to have some snacks at my apartment. If you're hungry, there's a pizza shop on the block. There's a burger spot on the block, or get food and bring it. Like I tried to make it super, super laid back and cool for them. And then even the party, I said, there's going to be pizza. There's going to be cake. Come when you want. Come for a slice. Stay for the whole thing. I released all expectations of what I thought that thing was going to be. And it was the greatest thing ever. I just said, I am going to do this. Hopefully people have a good time. Hopefully people talk to each other. Hopefully people have fun, but I can't control this thing. And these are the themes and these are the things that I feel like I've really, really learned over the last few years and that have like come into this like 40 thing with me. And I try to share this stuff with you because like when I was 20 and I was 30, I was so worried about the fact that I was worried about so much shit for approval of society or where I thought I was supposed to be in the standards or where I was supposed to be in these checkpoints or what I thought I was supposed to have. And the amount of bandwidth, the amount of time I've wasted on those things, I wish I had back. I probably could have built an incredibly successful business or photography portfolio or whatever. And I'm just telling you, stop staying awake at night because you're not married and they are, or you don't have a significant other, or you don't have a girlfriend, or you don't have a boyfriend and they do. Go find, trust me, I get wanting to have a partner and I get wanting to partner up with someone to experience and enjoy life, but maybe it is not quote unquote boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe it is a friend. Maybe it is a group of people, a community. Maybe it's like stop limiting your experiences and your fun because life is fucking short. And before you know, you wake up and you're 41 years old. This came in a flash. I cannot believe 2018 to 2022 has been 4 years. I can't believe we were in a pandemic for 2 years. Like, where did time go? And it's like, you are going to wake up and you are going to be old. Do you want to be fulfilled or do you want to feel empty? The choice is yours. You are the person who controls that. And and I'm sure I'm going to get shit for this. And yes, we're all at different circumstances and we are all at different places and we are all at different, incomes and stuff that's been thrown at us and life and all the things. But I will tell you, the patients I deal with and the people who I deal with who are dying will tell you they do not care now what anyone thought about anything in regards to stuff that they were embarrassed about. Or they would say, I wish I would have spent more time with my significant other. I wish I would have spent more, the things that fulfill them. If their family fulfilled them, it fulfilled them. If their friends fulfilled them, I wish I didn't spend that much time at work. Or some people would say, I wish I had another business. Like, you have to say to yourself, if I was dying tomorrow, what would my regret be? And like, I don't like flying. One thing for me, I hate flying. I hate going on airplanes. But you know what? I don't want to be laying on my deathbed being like, man, you didn't get to go places. You didn't see the world because you were afraid to fly. Like, you just gotta like, or like you were like afraid to put that YouTube out there, or you were afraid to like make that podcast, or you were afraid to go to that party alone. Like, go to the party alone. So many people came to my birthday party alone and they had the best time ever. And years ago, like, I would be like not going places because I'd be like, well, I don't know anybody there. Who cares? Go talk to somebody. Go make friends. Trust me, more people are feeling like you're feeling than you think. And if you're around a group of people who, and this is something I try to foster, like in all the spaces I create and all the parties I have and all the things that I do. And someone said this to me the other day and I was like so grateful that they noticed it. They said, you really have a knack for putting people together and having parties and stuff. And it's like, if you're around a bunch of people that are pretentious as fuck and you feel like you can't be yourself around them, or you got to like fake who you are or impress them, I did it. Honey, I've done it. And I don't know why I did it. Like, why did I go to those? Like, if you're around a bunch of people where you're walking on eggshells nonstop, waiting for them to see like when they're going to cut you or when they're going to demote you in the friendship circle or in the group, or when you're going to say the thing that pisses them off or upsets them, but when you're trying to tell them the truth and you're trying not to, you know, have them out here embarrassing themselves or whatever. And I can always tell people who don't have friends, like especially women, like when I see certain women like doing something or acting a certain way or wearing something, or like someone I know got a tattoo like a while ago, and I was like, she definitely has no girlfriends. And then like, because I'm like, no one would have let her get that tattoo, like, or would have just been like, is that a good idea? Like, you do you, boo, but like, are you sure about that? And it's just like, if you're around people who you're just like waiting to be cut, or you're waiting for the shoe to drop, or like you feel like you got to fake it, or you're like, maybe I talked a little bit too much about myself tonight. Granted, when you're meeting new people, 100%, but it's like, maybe I talked a little bit too much about myself, or maybe find new friends, find a new group of people. Trust me, there are more people out there than you think who don't feel like they fit in, who don't feel like they have a home. And you just got to find your people. Like, they're out there. But if you're sitting here and you're like with people, those aren't like real people. Like, if you're just like aligning with people because you're like, oh, I have to like watch what I say, or, oh, I have to do this, or, oh, I have to wear this outfit, or they're not going to, no, those people are not for you. Like, I can tell you. And I know someone who spent a lot of time in that pretentious, too cool for school world. And, you know, like I was in fashion for a long time, and I was in like these cool kid circles, and these people like, yeah, they're not having fun either. Like, most of them are miserable and completely unfulfilled. And yeah, just be the person. If you want to dance, go dance. If you want to hang and sit on the side and take photos of everybody and document it, and people are looking at you being like, there you're on your phone again. Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm an artist. I'm a photographer. If this was a physical camera, you would have shit to say, because then you would consider me an artist. I can't help it that it's 2022 and everything that I need to make for the Maltese Falcon is in this phone. There you go. I brought it back. I turned it around. I made it full circle. Thank you to everybody who wished me happy birthday. Thank you to everybody who follows this podcast. Thank you so much to the people who have been subscribing to this YouTube channel. Go be you. Go be the best version of yourself. Don't listen to people. Take what's for you in wellness. Take what's for you in self-care. Fill your own cup. Make yourself feel good. Wake up in the morning. Tell yourself you love yourself, because ain't nobody going to do it. And nobody's going to start loving you, and nobody's going to start treating you the way you want to be treated until you start treating yourself that way. And that is my biggest takeaway of my 30s into my 40s. You really have to fill your own cup. You really have to take care of yourself. And you really also have to take some chances on yourself. And 40 to 41 has been the year that I have decided that my legacy or my purpose or why I'm out here is to make people feel good about themselves, is to help them find self-confidence again, is to help them realize that they belong in the room or at the table or wherever they are, and especially women, to make them just feel loved. And for me, it begins with like self-love and self-care. And yeah, like that's kind of like what we're going to be doing out here. And if you're subscribed to this and you're here for it, cool. If you're not, cool. But like, I'm not for all this nonsense of saying like you look like a little selfish fuck if you're taking care of yourself. Because I'm telling you, at 40, I got friends with high blood pressure. I got friends with diabetes. I got dudes that I'm friends with who can't get it up now because of their high blood pressure. And, you know, because they didn't take care of themselves in their 20s because they were going crazy. They were doing a ton of drugs. They were running around. They weren't eating properly. I'm not saying you got to be like keto, Whole30, like whatever, but it's like, bro, like mac and cheese every day. And, you know, like Cheetos isn't going to cut it. Like you got to have some balance in there. People who don't exercise, people who don't move, people who haven't really unpacked their shit or even begun to take care of it. And now they're in marriages or now they have children and now it's like really like hitting them hard. And because they've never like stopped and like tried to address this. And I'm not saying like you need to go to a therapist because not everybody, I couldn't afford a therapist even when I got one. I could barely like scrap it at the time. Now I can afford one. I'm at a place in my life, you know, this place now I can actually do it. But in my 20s, there's no way I could afford a therapist. And, or even in my 30s for a good portion of it. But I read books and I tried to help myself a little bit. And you can listen to podcasts and you can be around people who make you feel good. And, you know, there's ways you can, you know, navigate this a little bit. But like to sit here and be like, I have no responsibility over this. No, you have to save you. Like I had to save myself. You have to save you. People can bring you to the water. They can't make you drink it and they can't make you jump in. Like you got to take a little bit of responsibility. And even like now looking at this business and looking at the Donnas and looking at like, I've created stuff, I've made stuff, but I got to take responsibility to put it out there. And part of it's been my own, like, you know, my own shit of like imposter syndrome of like, yeah, you make it and yeah, you do it, but it's like nobody's going to find it unless you start talking about it and unless you start putting it out there and unless you start saying it. So yeah, this is where I am today. And 41, I'm so excited about. 40's been such a learning experience for me. It's been something that was kind of like freshman year is the best way I could put it. Because I got to the school, but I didn't know what to expect. And I had all these jitters and I had all this nerves and I had all this, what's this going to be like, you know, and it's cool. And I like my 40s and I'm happy with myself and I like the way I look and I like the way I show up and I like my friends and I like the community I've built on the internet. And I'm really proud of the business that I'm making and where I hope it's going to go and the plans I have for it. But I'm also a little detached. And if it doesn't become a t-shirt company, cool. If this turns into me being a YouTuber who's screaming into a microphone about how you need to take care of yourself, cool. If the podcast ends up becoming the thing, cool. If it's something I haven't even done yet, cool. But all of these things have been stepping stones for me to learn more about myself, to meet really cool people, to be around people who make me feel really, really good, to learn more about me, to figure out that I need a creative outlet. And that's part of my self-care. That's part of me taking care of myself is I need this creative space and it doesn't have to make sense to people. Nobody even has to watch it because just making this right now, I feel great. I feel like I shared my diary with you. And yeah. And if you want to call into the hotline, cool. If you don't, you don't have to. But I'm still going to show up here week after week for you to take what you want, for you to leave what's not for you. And again, these are my opinions. Opinions aren't like, they're not, I don't know. Someone on the internet said they're not instructions or directions. They're also not the rules and regs. It's just some shit that's worked for me or isn't working for me. So anyway, that's it. I think we're going to leave it at that. I hope you have a really, really, really good week. I hope you like this episode. Thank you to the people who wish me happy birthday. Thank you to all the followers of the Donnas. If you could leave a review for this podcast, I would love it. If you could leave a review down below in the YouTube if you're watching the video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.